It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Hawks and the Pack, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks.
Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
And his first look is incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I'm coming after you. Mike, move in there.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off a back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now it's Carson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
On first down, it's Carson, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
From the 30 on second down, Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it, and the Packers pick it up. Look at the big man rumble. Past the 20. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Now for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded right around the 8. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Geno. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
After the interception, here's Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
This is Carson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Packers offense set to go.
And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing is Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers.
And he'll look for Adams again, and this time he's got him.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 20-yard line.
That's good. First down. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Forced out to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
Silver. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Sly on for the extra point.
And it's good to make it 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And a nice play on the end of it. An 18-yard touchdown run.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On 2nd and 9, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Geno. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Bring it!
On 1st down, it's Carson, and he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Let's go,
now it looks like we'll
go.
get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Carson, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Smith. Incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Geno now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Out comes Devontae Adams and the offense for their next drive. 2nd quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half of action. And that is incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He completes it to Boyd. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense.
He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Packers pick it up. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Touchdown! It's Devontae Adams hauling it in from Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And it is now 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? A big play there on the catch and run.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Smith now to throw. Steps away to his left.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Smith. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down.
He'll spot Eskridge open left side.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Myers able to knock it through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
On the return, Isabella. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they did have some success running the football in those first 2 quarters. And that might be something they continue to work on as they try to get back in this game. Meanwhile, for the Packers, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. This is DJ Reed returning.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Second down at 7.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And it's a Packers touchdown. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers take the first turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Slide for the PAT.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll try the left side. It's Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run again with Carson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
The best defensive lineman They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Dancing to his left. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Rodgers.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
A give to Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
He's got Tunyon complete over the middle.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rodgers again now. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Rodgers now to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. The give is to Jones. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Packers are pouring it on.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
And we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
And thee coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Smith.
That's taken in by Eskridge, complete.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st down, it's Smith.
And that's going to be caught. Dwayne Eskridge.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Here we go.
A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Come on.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. To the air again, Smith. Now he's flushed out right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1's Mike. Go.
Now Geno. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Here's Carson.
Come on, QB. Come on.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Throwing now is Geno. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will cut this lead down to 25. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. On the return, Isabella. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
You're trash. You're trash. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Again, it's Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
We got 3.
Look at that. Hey, take 26.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Come on, baby.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting, but obviously not the case.